Hello everybody, my name's Piggy here, and today we're back with a brand new video. We are back with more Dead by Daylight, and after 10 long years, Jason has released in Dead by Daylight. People have been waiting for Jason to come to the game for a long time, and to be honest, it was very obvious, especially since the court case wrapped up, that Jason would be the 10-year anniversary chapter. And here he is in all his glory. Now, here's the Jason universe design, which is its own character, and Jason has basically gone from... he's basically like a mascot now, really. So he's basically a mascot horror at this point. And that's why when you go and look at his skins and stuff, they're not from any of the films at all. Behaviour, it's kind of like a Ghostface situation, where Behaviour are like doing their own thing with Jason and stuff. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's also been happening. That's an issue that's been plaguing Steam players. I don't know why that's been an issue plaguing Steam players as well. Yeah, Jason is finally Dead by Daylight. Now, I've got a few things I want to discuss before we actually get into some gameplay, because this video and future videos on content releases for Dead by Daylight will probably be structured like this. Similar to how I did it for Trickster, similar to how I did it for Stranger Things Chapter 2. I'll talk about the chapter release, I'll talk about some other stuff to do with Dead by Daylight, and then I'll show you some gameplay of like the new killer or new survivors, whatever. So that's probably how it'll be laid out. Sometimes I'll have a microphone, like I'm going to be recording my Jason matches with microphone this time, instead of without no microphone, like I did for the Stranger Things Chapter 2 and Trickster rework updates and stuff. First thing I want to get out of the way. So yeah, there will be a timestamp you can skip to if you want to skip all this and just want to get on with the gameplay. But for now, I'm going to be talking about what was revealed at the Dead by Daylight 10-year anniversary. That's what we're going to start with, instead of before hopping into the patch notes and other things like that. But yeah, Dead by Daylight 10-year anniversary. This anniversary was huge. I'll throw up the roadmap on screen, but we got revealed every single chapter that is coming to Dead by Daylight, besides from the very last one in April. So it starts off with Jason, obviously, and then we have a new survivor based on like indigenous people, and that chapter's called Road Life. It's, what is it, Wiigwaas I think is his name. And speaking about him, little side note, I won't be here to record his release, nor will I be here to record the anniversary when it first releases, because I'm going on holiday for the first 2 weeks of July to Orlando to go have fun in the theme parks. So I won't be here to record the anniversary event or the new survivor coming out. So I'll have to record that once I get back, which by the time I get back there'll be like 4 days left before the anniversary ends. So I won't be there to record that, unfortunately. Or even if I do manage to record it, I won't be able to edit it on time at all anyway. So that will probably be something I will skip. I'll probably skip the 10-year anniversary event itself, and I'll skip the new survivor coming out as well. I'll probably have to skip that. But then, following on, we have the Grimoire chapter, Chorus of Sin, releasing on August 25th. So that's releasing in August. That's a future chapter we have. And then following that is a new licensed chapter, Terrifier. Now, for Terrifier, I don't really care about Terrifier that much. I have seen the first Terrifier movie, and I've seen kind of like clips from the second Terrifier movie. But I just got to say this right now. With Terrifier, I treat it the same way I treat Saw, which the first movie's good, and the following movies are okay. But it's basically just how many unique and different ways can we kill people. Like, that's all Saw was to me after the first movie and stuff. It's just how many different ways can we kill someone. Which is why it kind of fell off for me. Same, not really for Terrifier, as to me, it's an okay movie franchise. If you like it, that's fine. But honestly, it just turned, like, the later Terrifier 2 and 3 just turned into how many different ways and unique ways can we kill people. It's just like a gore fest pretty much. It's not really, you could say that about any horror film, but like Terrifier to me is the same way I treat Saw. The first one's okay, the sequels afterwards are fine, but it basically just turns into how many different ways can we kill people uniquely. And how much messed up stuff can we put into one movie. That's basically all it turns into for me. Yeah, other than that, Terrifier is releasing in November. And then in December, we have a brand new map coming out, being a mall map. Honestly, when they were talking about it in the live stream, I thought this was a Backrooms collab. But no, it's like this liminal space mall map. And it got me thinking, why don't Behaviour just do collabs with just like a map being added? Like, why don't they just do it like that? Maybe you could have a Survivor in there as well from one of these, like the Backrooms franchise, for example. You could have like what was his name, Clark. You can have Clark from the Backrooms film be a Survivor, and then have a unique, or like Mary, I think that was her name. You can have Mary in the back, like as a Survivor for the Backrooms film, and then you can have the actual Backrooms itself, because I thought it was about to be revealed that it was a Backrooms collab, but no, it's just like this liminal space mall map that was revealed, and honestly it seems cool. It's an indoor map, and so people are iffy on indoor maps. I'm excited for it, because I bet it's probably going to be the closest thing we ever get to the Backrooms being in Dead by Daylight. But yeah, so they revealed that for December, and then in March in 2027 they are finally releasing a Casting of Frank Stone chapter. It was revealed that Casting of Frank Stone, like the champion Frank Stone himself, was going to be a Trapper skin. That got major backlash, and so they finally are turning it into a full chapter, and I'm very excited for that one. I'm very excited for that one, because like Houndmaster's release, Houndmaster was the next original chapter after the Casting of Frank Stone came back. That should have been a Frank Stone chapter, because it would have brought so much more attention to the game. I don't know why they didn't think of this, but yeah, later down the line, Frank Stone will be a killer coming to Dead by Daylight, along with probably a Survivor as well. And then the last one, which we don't know, is an April Survivor, solo Survivor, because it normally goes 4 killers, 5 survivors. So that's normally how it goes. So yeah, and that just happened again. That is it, and this is probably one of the first times in Dead by Daylight history where we know every single chapter release, basically every single chapter release coming for the next year. So nothing's really going to be a surprise, and they said they want to be more transparent. That's why they revealed all this stuff. But yeah, that's it with the whole roadmap. That's future releases. The only ones I'm really excited for are the Frank Stone. Obviously Jason's here now, and Chorus of Sin. They're the really only ones I am excited for, really. They're the only ones I really care about. Terrifier, I've already said about that. I don't really care for it, to be honest. I might honestly give it a rewatch, like the second. I might actually give the second and third one like a proper rewatch, and then rewatch the first one as well. But I treat it the same way I treat like Saw. It's just basically how many unique ways we can kill people, and it's just like a gore fest, and like how much messed up stuff can we shove into one movie. That's all it is, really. But yeah, that's future releases. I'm excited for, obviously, Jason's here, the Grimoire, and Frank Stoner's chapters. And then they revealed some cosmetic collections as well, and this is where things get a bit interesting. Now, these are the cosmetics coming out first. They're doing another Iron Maiden skin for Huntress, and they're releasing Ice Nine Kills, like a music collab, coming to the game. These I don't really care for. I don't know much about them, so I won't talk about them much. But then they release more cosmetics are adding, and they are doing a Diablo 4 collab. Oh, what was the other ones? I actually forgot. What was the other ones? They're doing a Diablo 4 cosmetic collab with Lilith from Diablo being an artist skin, which, you know, people said that this artist skin right here looked like Lilith from Diablo. And I thought that as well when I first saw it. I thought, is this Lilith from Diablo? And now they're actually finally adding a proper Diablo skin and giving it to Artist. Realistically, I don't think Artist needs any more, you know, collab skins. She has enough as it is. She has three collab skins from different franchises. I don't think she needs any more collab skins behaviour. I think she's good. I think she's alright. But yeah, I think Artist is good. Just leave her alone, please. I forgot the other cosmetic collections they were adding. The other collab skins they are adding, I knew two of them that I was going to mention, but I needed to refresh my brain on the other ones. They are adding more cosmetics to The Walking Dead. They're adding Glenn as a survivor, and they're going to add Negan later on down the line. So basically we're getting Invincible and Conquest in Dead by Daylight, which that's going to be pretty fun to have. I really hope they're voiced by the original actors, because then it will literally be Invincible and Conquest in Dead by Daylight. And then they're also adding more skins to the Silent Hill collection. And one of them being a skin from Silent Hill F. I forgot her name, but she was the main character in Silent Hill F. And they're adding a nurse skin for the Spirit, which I think actually fits Spirit better because of like the whole movement Spirit does. And then if you've seen Silent Hill, you know how the nurses move in that game. So that's something that's a cosmetic collab that's going to be really cool when it comes out. And apparently they're meant to be both legendaries. So it's a legendary for the Spirit and a legendary for Cheryl. And then the final big collab announcement, the big cosmetic collab announcement, was they're adding Scooby-Doo to Dead by Daylight. And whoever has the Shaggy skin and the Scooby skin will be put on my P100 roster. I'm doing that. Like, I hope they're legendary skins as well. It's a bit of a shame that they're a cosmetic collection and it's just going to be for survivors, no killers. But it doesn't matter. Scooby-Doo is being added to Dead by Daylight, and whoever has a Scooby skin and whoever has a Shaggy skin, I am P100ing them. I think it's just going to be cosplays, but I don't care. And from the looks of it, I think Dwight's going to be Scooby. I don't know who's going to be Shaggy, Fred, Velma, Daphne, because they all have to be coming. And then it might be like Mystery Incorporated t-shirts for survivors, because I know there's nothing for Killer coming with that collab, and that's releasing in December. I'm excited for that. I'm really hyped for that. I am. Scooby-Doo is actually coming to Dead by Daylight. Like, I'm really excited for that. I am. That's gonna be incredible when that releases. But yeah, that's it for cosmetic collections. Next, we got to talk about what they did in the future for Dead by Daylight. So they did an entire section talking about the future of Dead by Daylight, and what they are doing is we're basically getting a Realm Beyond update part 2, where they're going to be updating every single map. They're going to be updating all the character models, probably redoing animations, and they're basically going to like do a bit of an overhaul of the game to allow them to add a bit more new features and stuff. And it's being done by a separate studio, and I really hope this means that they are basically kind of recoding the game from the ground up. Because imagine that, imagine they recode the game from the ground up, which means like there's less bugs, there's less, I really hope this means this is like this is basically DBD 2 in this is a full DBD 2.0. This is now this is coming out late 2027, so we won't get this for a while. But I'm really excited for this because the future is looking right for DBD after all these reveals. And then they did another thing as well where they revealed that they're going to be adding dynamic weather, which basically means this won't just be like a cosmetic thing where on Ormond you get a bit of snow and stuff, or the Macmillan estate where you're going to get a bit of lightning. This will actually affect gameplay. It will affect perks and other gameplay elements, The only issue I have with this is with the current balance of the game, with stuff like snow impairing vision, some of the weather effects making you faster, making you slower. With the current balance of the game, if this were to release now, it would basically be over for Killer. It would be over for Killer, because with just the way they described it, how it impairs vision, Huntress would be unplayable, Deathslinger would basically be unplayable, like even Jason would probably be unplayable because of some of these weather events. And the fact that they affect perks too, they might affect perks as well. Like, this isn't just a cosmetic thing they're adding, they might affect perks. I don't know how to feel about it. It's not, with the current balance of the game, if they add this, it's going to be, if they add this, I don't know if it's going to work. They will have to do heavy balancing over the next, basically over the next year, to get this all sorted and ready. Because if they add all this and the balancing of the game is still poor, and it's just really impossible to play Killer unless you're playing one of the top 5 killers in the game and you're running all meta stuff, then it's not going to be a fun experience. People want change, but with the current meta of the game, if they add this dynamic weather where it affects perks, it makes people slower, faster, this is going to be a survivor's dream, because they can just rat, especially with elusive, like power creep in the game as well. Survivors will just be able to rat. So if this impairs your vision and stuff, and it changes gameplay and stuff, then survivors will just be able to rat almost all game, and you'll just never be able to find anyone. And some killers, like I said, Deathslinger, Huntress would be unplayable. And depending on how it affects perks, like imagine when it's muddy on the floor after it's been thunderstorming. Like, for example, Agitation, this perk right here, because it's muddy, you slip around more while carrying a survivor or something like that. That would be a bit miserable, I'm not going to lie. I really hope if they add this, the balance of the game is better. Because right now, if this were to get added, it would probably be like, it'd be impossible to play Killer, pretty much. It would be impossible. But yeah, other than that, that is it for the graphical overhaul and the dynamic weather. And now, moving on to talking about the new game modes. They announced 2 new game modes that are currently early in development, but will release sometime next year. They are doing an official 1v1 game mode, which that's meant to appease to like all the compies and stuff like that. I don't really care for that one that much. But they also revealed another game mode, which is going to be basically like Call of Duty Zombies, where survivors have to go around, pick up vaccines, cure zombies, and then once they cure enough zombies, they can escape. While the killer has to go around, try and infect survivors, try and, help the zombies win, and, get all the survivors, make sure they all turn to zombies and stuff. And this one was so early in development that it's not even in the Dead by Daylight engine at all yet. It's being tested on a different build, a different engine of the game. I am excited for these game modes because it's a shake-up for one. The 1v1 game mode I'm not excited for. I have opinions about DBD comp and stuff like that, and so I'm not really excited for the 1v1 game mode. Zombie game mode though, 100% will make a video on that when that comes out. That's going to be really fun to play. But yeah, that is basically all the reveals though that they did for the Dead by Daylight 10th anniversary, and this year is going to be stacked. The 10th year of Dead by Daylight is going to be stacked with so much content releasing. And there'll be so much to do in the game. I'm excited. I'm really excited for this year. If they can pull it off, this might be one of the best years for Dead by Daylight. The only thing they need to do is more balancing, more quality of life, more bug fixing and stuff like that. And then if they do all that correctly, this will be the best year for Dead by Daylight they've ever done. But yeah, that's me just discussing all my thoughts about, the 10th anniversary of Dead by Daylight, what they revealed and stuff. Now we're just going to quickly gloss over the actual patch notes that they did. But now moving on to the actual patch notes for Dead by Daylight, the Jason, chapter and stuff. First, going over Jason's power, I like it. I think it fits him a lot. The only thing I think could have worked that I would have liked to have seen would be when you press control instead of activating Omnipresent Evil, it'll bring up sort of like a thing similar to Dracula, where you press control and it gives you two options to go into bat form or wolf form. And I would prefer it to be when you press control, you can choose either Omnipresent Evil, or you can choose a different mode, which is kind of like a stalker mode, where once you enter this state, when you enter this state, you go around, you stalk survivors. You can still pick up the spikes and stuff. You'll be permanently undetectable. You go around, you stalk survivors and stuff like that. And then once you get enough stalk, in that mode specifically, the control button will be replaced with entering sort of like a rampage, enraged sort of mode, where it'll basically be a mix of what Myers has mixed with Singularity, where you cannot be stunned at all if a survivor. It'll last for about it probably wouldn't really last that long, but if a survivor drops a pallet on your head, you'll basically all your action speeds will be increased by 50%. So you'll have base kit enduring, pretty much. You'll break pallets, damage generators faster. Hell, you might not even get stunned at all. You'll have maybe like a faster attack cooldown or something. I would have liked to have seen that in his kit, just like a kind of like enraged sort of state, in like an enraged mode in his kit, where he holds down control, he can enter Omnipresent Evil, do all that and stuff, but he can press control and enter like a stalker mode, where once he gets enough stalk, he can enter like this enraged sort of state, where he does stuff faster, he's more powerful and stuff like that. And it's basically a mix of Singularity's overclock mixed in with Myers. It'll basically just be Singularity's overclock, to be honest, but it would last a little bit longer. When you get stunned, you get 50% hindered for 5 seconds. You'll be able to break breakable walls, vault, break pallets and stuff a lot faster. Pallets will just break on your head when they're dropped on you. Just something like that I think would have been a really neat addition to Jason's power. But other than that, I think his power really fits him. One more thing to do with his kit as well, that I would have liked to have seen, because I really hope this won't be a start of a trend. I want him to be made 4.6 and the haste he gets after being an Omnipresent Evil being removed, because since Vecna's or Henry Creel's release, the first, there has been a trend where killers have been made 4.4, because when Henry Creel released, he was praised for being a balanced but strong killer. He was praised for that. And then we got add-on nerfs later, because his add-ons were the most powerful part of his kit, really. And he got some base kit adjustments, only a few though. Only a few adjustments though. He was praised, and I still think to this day he is still praised for being a strong but balanced killer, where he released in a very strong state, but he's balanced in a way, if you understand what I mean. And they made him 4.4, and being 4.4 was a big part of that as to why his kit was balanced. And then later on, obviously, Blight got nerfed to 4.4, which he needed to be. And then when the Trickster rework happened, he got turned 4.4. And while I understand why he should be 115, I still think with the compensation buffs they gave him, I think he should stay 4.4. The only thing he really needs is an increase in blade count to 44 again, and then I think he'll be in a pretty perfect and decent state. He'll basically be like his release self all the way back in, what year would it have been? 2020, 2021, around then. He would have been in such a perfect balanced state if they just increased his blade count to 44, and I think he can stay 110. But then Jason releases and he's 110. And his kit isn't really anything to write home about. He is quite strong. He's high B. But he's not really that strong to kind of, I guess really justify 4.4. And I really hope this isn't a trend, because we know that the Judgment, which is the next killer, will be 4.4. Her kit, the Judgment, I think it's a her. Her kit is, from what I've seen from the testing, looks strong enough to justify the Judgment being 4.4, because it can hit through walls. Jason's power doesn't really scream to me that he should be 4.4. he shouldn't be 4.4, and I really hope this isn't a trend where Behaviour thinks, this is strong enough, let's slap 4.4 on him. Because if Terrifier comes out, Art the Clown comes out, and he's 4.4, because Behaviour thinks his kit is strong, and then Frank Stone releases, and his kit, the Behaviour thinks is strong, and they slap 4.4 on him, I just really hope this isn't a trend where they just slap 4.4 on everything because they think, it's too strong, because of how well designed Henry Creel was. And him being 4.4 was a big part of why he was balanced. So I really hope this isn't a trend we're about to see, where every single killer released in the future will be made 4.4 because Behaviour think, this is like Henry Creel, this is like when he released, he's quite strong in their eyes, and then when the players actually get their hands on it, he's not strong at all. I just pray that this isn't a trend where 4.4 gets slapped on every single killer that releases, because in my opinion, Jason should not be 4.4. I don't think Jason should be 4.4 at all. Like, he has to go and reload. And it's not like Huntress where you can walk up to a locker. I know they're pretty spread out and you can get it from hooks, but I just don't think Jason should be 4.4. With his kit, I don't think he should be 4.4. He should not be 4.4 at all. He should be 4.6. He should not be 4.4. Other than that, I think his kit's fine. It's amazing. Besides from like the Enrage mode that I would have liked to see, like that made into some form, maybe a Stalker, maybe add like a little bit of a stalking aspect in his kit and making him 4.6. Other than that, his kit's fine. I don't think this needs much changes. I don't think it needs many changes at all. And now moving on to the only other part we can talk about, his perks. Look, Behaviour, if you want to make it so on content releases you only focus on the new content, Behaviour made it where when there's a new content patch, they will not do any balance adjustments in them, so they can focus on the new content only. And that's okay and all. We would like to see more balance changes, maybe on smaller patches, but it can be fine. But tell me this, if you're going to be doing that, at least listen to feedback about the perks, because the only perk that was changed was Silent Shadow to be a pretty much furtive chase type of perk, but without having to hook the obsession. People complained about Hex Scare to Death, how it's pretty much it's a good strong effect, but you slapped it with two conditions being a Hex and having to hook 3 different survivors. That's why no one will run this perk. But Hex Scare to Death, you slapped it with 2 activations. It would have been fine if it was just a Hex and it was this effect, but you also slapped it with this as well, having to hook 3 different survivors. Now people gave you feedback on this and you didn't do anything. If you're not going to be doing balance adjustments in the new patches, then at least listen to what people were saying about the new perks, because I saw so many people complaining about Hex Scared to Death, how it needs to be changed to either not be a Hex or to remove the activation condition and make it something else, like actually breaking a pallet to make it activate. Not just don't do anything with it. Just like, why? No, like you surely saw loads of people complain about how bad this perk is. If you're not going to be doing balance adjustments, then at least listen to the community and change the perk that people are complaining about. You wanted people to focus more on the actual content releases, the actual content stuff for the game, instead of doing balance changes in content releases. I don't even know if that made sense, but just you wanted people to give more feedback about the actual content releases by not doing balance adjustments in content release patches. Then at least listen to what people are saying, because you made no changes to this perk at all. 0 changes, and people complain about this perk the most. Out of all of Jason's perks, this perk got changed the most. This perk got talked about the most, and you did nothing with it. You did nothing with it. Why didn't you do anything with it? Why? If you want, I could go about it all the time, but anyway, yeah, Silent Shadow got changed. Honestly, it's an okay, it's a better version. I'd say it's a better version than what it was, but the original version they proposed in PTB could have been great if you just slapped a 0 on the end of the 13 seconds, because there ain't no way someone's getting downed in 13 seconds of a match starting, unless you're hillbilly. Even then, that's lucky. Like the original version of Silent Shadow could have been great, where it gave you 13 seconds of undetectable at the start of the match, if you just made that 13 or 130. But you change it to this, which I guess it's just a better version of Furtive Chase. Just they shaved off about 5 seconds. Moving on, Rampage. Rampage was the most anticipated perk I wanted. Literally the only thing I do to Rampage is make it on any break. Make it when they break it, so that means like Nemesis and Bubba can use it, or people that can break pallets with power or something. They can gain tokens that way. Why is it on basic break? Like, this was another thing. People said that it should have been on. I saw people say that it should have been on any break. I saw people say that the haste bonus you get should be increased to like 2% haste or 3% haste to actually make it worth it. Why are we doing this? If you wanted, if you wanted feedback, if you didn't do any balance changes in the PTB because you wanted you wanted all the feedback to go to the new content that was being added, then why didn't we see any changes to Rampage or Hex Scared to Death? When I know for a fact that there was so many people talking about how Rampage needs changing and how Hex Scared to Death needs changing. And this makes me scared that you didn't listen to anything anyone was saying about the new Survivor perks. Wide Open Throttle needs to have exhaustion added to it because with it being paired with life is ridiculous. That needs exhaustion. It shouldn't just be 15% haste for 3 seconds for free with no exhaustion and being able to reset the pallet. Good perk, all it needs is exhaustion added to it and then it's balanced. Lend a Hand was pretty fine. That's an okay perk to me. I don't think it was too problematic. It's not too problematic. Lend a Hand, fine. But cross-examination, why did you give it elusive? Why does it linger for 5 seconds? And why is the hitbox on the light marks, which are the killer equivalent to scratch marks for the perk, gigantic? And why does it go vertically up? Why does it go vertically up? I saw so many clips of people in the PTB where they managed to lose the killer by literally just running this perk because the hitbox on the light marks are so big and they go up for some reason. They're like a giant cylinder. Not a cylinder, they're like a giant rectangle. Why? So this makes me scared that they didn't even bother changing those perks, because cross-examination was the worst perk that people were talking about needing changing, because if that comes to life, that's going to completely break the game. Elusive is already such a strong status effect that is power creeping the game hard and heavy. If cross-examination releases with elusive, it's going to be busted. That's going to, you will lose the killer 9 times out of 10. All it takes is losing line of sight and standing on that perk. You will lose your scratch marks and you will disappear. You can run off wherever you like. I thought that the light marks were strong enough. The fact that you could see the killer, where they're going and stuff. I thought the light marks were good enough, but then you gave it elusive. And considering that these didn't get changed at all, it makes me scared for what Survivor perks got changed. Because if you didn't change if you didn't change Hex Scared to Death, the most talked about perk for Jason, to get changed, and you made 0 changes to it, I'm scared for what you did to cross-examination. I am scared for what you did to cross-examination, because I have a feeling you left it. I have a feeling you didn't touch it at all. And I bet you I am right about that. I bet you didn't touch any of the Survivor perks at all, same way you didn't touch any of these perks. If you didn't want to do balance updates in content release patches, fine, because if you want to just focus on the new content and have people talking about that so you can get balance feedback, fine, that's perfectly fine. But why didn't you change any of the new perks when I know for a fact people were complaining about Hex Scared to Death so much on Reddit, on the forums, hell, even on Twitter. I don't use Twitter, but I saw people complain about it through other Reddit posts, and I find this ridiculous. This is just another behaviour move, and it makes me scared for those Survivor perks, because if those Survivor perks weren't changed, I know I've rambled about this section a lot, but I need to just get it. I just need to get it out there, because if those Survivor perks haven't changed, if you haven't given Wide Open Throttle exhaustion, if you haven't changed cross-examination to not have elusive and have something else instead, then that's worrying, considering that Hex Scared to Death, the most talked about perk for Jason that needed adjustments, didn't get adjustments. Anyway, I rambled about that too long, but I just needed to get it out there. The fact that they didn't change Hex Scared to Death, which I know was the most talked about perk for Jason, didn't get any changes. I'm scared for the Survivor perks, because if those Survivor perks release in the state they were in the PTB, it's broken. It's over for Killer. It is over. It is literally over. It doesn't matter if you're S tier or not, actually, because all it takes is for guys to walk into the light marks, and then they're off. Anyway, they did add them more. They did do other features and stuff. They did visual changes for the Doctor so people don't get migraines anymore. They did bug fixes. But yeah, that was just my thoughts on the Jason patch, the 10-year anniversary patch. Technically, it's part 1 of 2 because the new Survivor releasing. But yeah, those were just my thoughts. That was just me telling you about the 10-year anniversary, and obviously the Jason patches part. This beginning part has probably gone on longer than it needed to, but I just need to get my thoughts out there. Hopefully other patches won't be as long as this in the beginning bit. But yeah, without further ado now, that's just my thoughts. And yeah, we'll move on to some matches, which will be recorded with microphone. They will be recorded with microphone. So yeah, without further ado, let's move on to getting some matches done of me actually playing Jason. Right, hopping into our first game as Jason. Now, I did play a little, so that first beginning bit you would have seen, I did record a little bit. I recorded that on day 1 of his release, and then I played a few games afterwards. Just to get like a quick feel for him, because I only really played him in custom matches before then. I did play in a few custom matches before then. I didn't really properly play him, so I've played a few matches before then. No, I played a few matches after recording that little intro section just to get some bearings with him. As you can see, my cosmetic has changed up a little bit. Put on a little bit of a new fit for him. And yeah. Hello, Meg. And as you can tell, spiders. Okay, someone's down there. As you can see, I've got this little bit of a build on here. I've got the classic Pain Red Grim Embrace little combo. I've got his Hex perk on because I actually want to give it a go just to see if it's as bad as, you know, it already would have been. So this should activate now once I hook this, which is actually going to be good. And then I've got Spies from the Shadows on as Spies from the Shadow on. Spies from the Shadows on as well. Which I have this on. I completely missed. I have this on because it's actually, I think, Jason's best perk. I think Spies is unironic. I think it's Jason's best perk. I do. I think this is Jason's best perk. Spies. I think it's his best perk. Because it helps so much with info, especially when you're in Omnipresent Evil. I'm gonna go check my totem out over there. No one's on it. Things like Jason's a really good totem defender, so you can really defend totems. Damn. As for add-ons, I've got the Coroner's Coffee on and the 2 Nails add-on. I think the 2 Nails add-on is actually really good. I think that's a really good add-on, that is. The 2 Nails add-on. I think that is an incredible add-on. Okay, I'm not going to go through. I think it's a really good add-on, because even when you hit the Survivor, because it's technically still in range, because it's technically within, you know, a meter of a Survivor, it basically works the same as Glowing Concoction, from Huntress, and so I really like that add-on, and I think that's a really good add-on for Huntress, and I think 2 Nails is also a really good add-on for Jason, because it works almost the exact same, and it's kind of better because even if you miss, as long as it's close to that 1 meter range, as long as it's close to that 1 meter range, you'll still get the aura. This match is, I didn't expect to get this. I kind of hoped this lasted a bit longer. Oh, hello. Kind of wish this lasted a bit longer, to be honest. She bled out on the floor. I think she gave up. Okay. Change side. Yeah, I don't really know what happened here. Do you have DS? No. Random shot. That hit the wall. See, I hit them. %, hindered for 3 seconds. I don't even think that did anything. I'm not even going to lie to you. I went the wrong way. Connected on the wall as well. And then for Coroner's Coffee, I think that's what the add-on's called. As for that add-on, I think the add-on's pretty good. It's definitely his best add-on. Like, look, I just get to see her aura. I know exactly where she's going. I'm coming out here somewhere. Let's see this in effect. Definitely slower. I think hatch spawn. I missed. %, slower. Yeah, that does kind of help. Let's take you to a... This match, it was not how I expected it to be. Let's take you to a nice open area for the Mori. Let's go like here. Good thumbnail shot. Look at that Mori. Boom. Not really how I thought that would have went, to be honest. I don't know what happened there. No idea what happened there. But yeah, Hex scared to death. I guess I'll probably win this 1 more match. But yeah, Coroner's Coffee, 2 Nails. I think these are really good add-ons, and I'm definitely going to be running these a lot, especially 2 Nails. I think 2 Nails is really good. Coroner's Coffee, even though the haste got nerfed, I still think this is a really incredible add-on, especially because of the distance survivors get chucked backwards. And like I said, Spies from the Shadows, I think this is going to be his best perk. Spies will be. Spies will definitely be like one of his best perks. So I will probably be constantly running this in builds. I will. It's very similar to how Dracula Bat Form benefits a lot from Spies. I think Spies will also, for Jason, I think Spies will also be his good perk. Like, it will be one of his best perks. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Spies from the Shadows is such an underrated perk. It is really underrated for what it is. Many people don't run it though, especially in this current meta, because with the way gens go, with the way gens kind of just fly and stuff like that, it's not. But with how gens sort of fly, especially Hyper Focus Stakeout, literally right up here, Deja Vu, Prove Thyself. With how gens fly, people just don't run it because it's much more beneficial to run some gen blocking and gen regression on a strong killer than it is to run like stuff like information and stuff. That's why you'll constantly see this, maybe one chase perk, and then people nowadays, most add-ons kind of act as secondary perks. Like Bonnie's guitar strings kind of acts as like thrilling tremors mixed with barbecue and chili a little bit. So yeah, that's why you'll probably never really see stuff like Spies, a really underrated free killer perk, never be used, which, you know, it's kind of unfortunate, but yeah. Anyway, let's just shovel these blood points in. Let's shovel these blood points in, and yeah, let's just continue. Next match, let's go. I'm going to keep running Hex Scared to Death, just see if I get any decent value, because that wasn't really a good game to showcase it off. But normally I like to actually run Brutal on him, or another sort of like, he is a good Hex defender, Jason is. He is a good Hex defender, so probably like Hive Mind would probably be really good on him. I don't really know what else. I guess Disillusion could actually work pretty well. Batteries, Agitation, I mean, they're always kind of good. Yeah, we'll wait to head into the next match, and yeah, see you when we get there. Alright guys, I'm going to come butt back in real quick here. It's taking so long to find these matches that what I'll probably do is that the next match that we go into, that'll be the last match I do with microphone, and then just because of how long it takes to try and find these matches, I was going to do 4 matches of Jason to compensate for the fact that I won't be able to do the new Survivor when he releases. And what I normally do when a new killer, new Survivor releases, I do 2 matches of the new killer at least, and then I'll do 2 matches of the new Survivor and stuff like that. Like, that's how I will be like sort of doing it. But obviously a Survivor didn't release with Jason, so because it's taken, so just to compensate for that and the fact that I won't be able to cover the new Survivor and the new anniversary event or anything, I thought I'd do 4 matches at Jason. But it's taking so long to find these matches that what I'll probably do is that the next match will be the last match with microphone, and then every single following match afterwards will be without. I think I said with no. So the next match I do will be with microphone. The next 2 matches will be without microphone, just because on how long it's taken to find these matches and stuff. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to come in and butt in with real quick. Right, the game. Ooh. But yeah, this is the last match. This is the last match with microphone. Like I said, how I'm going to be doing it from now on is I do plan on doing like, I'd plan on doing 2 matches as the new killer, 2 matches as the new Survivor. That's how I plan on like laying it out from now on. But just to compensate, considering there's no Survivor with Jason, I'm going to be doing 4 matches. I'm 4.6 for a little bit. I will leave that. I think when I enter that mode, they don't do anything. Yeah, just to compensate, because there's no survivor with Jason, I do plan on doing 4 matches. Put it there. That was good all reading. That is 2 nails value, baby. His best add-on. Yeah, anti-cam with this. Holy, 2 gens. What? Are you walking? Oh my god. That is 2 nails. Holy man. Do you see what I mean? Match basically just started, by the way. They're on that gen already. I'm going to be down to 1 gen in a second, actually. Holy, wait a minute. All my things are in there. How much did this have? A lot. This is open. Hex just spawned in. Oh, I should have actually probably broke that. Nails. Such a good add-on. Someone's heading down there to unhook. Someone's gone that way. That was nasty. I'm just going to take that because I don't want to hook you there. I want to hook you on a scourge. I'm going to take you down here. He's just seen the totem, which is pretty bad. Hooking him here isn't the best thing, but I need a scourge. No, I'm going to go for this. I know what it is now. I need a hook. You have. Oh no. Pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Like, Jason's such a good totem protector, and I'm protecting probably one of the worst totems in the entire game. I'm gonna drag you back. I don't make that. I'm gonna put you here. Hello. Where's AFK crows? I'm so happy Jason's. See what I mean there? I know he's going to run. Oh, good shot, good shot. Catch up using this. I'll run back. Why did that cancel? That is 2 nails. That is 2 nails for you right there. 13% hindered. Didn't really do a lot. Like, it needs buffing. Two nails needs buffing. Not 2 nails, the hex perk. It needs a buff. I don't make that. I don't make anything. Oops. I got a lever on the floor there. I don't make anything. Popple got in my way. She fell. See? I don't understand how close 1 meter actually is. Like, the hinder just needs to last longer, and I guess you can keep it on basic break, but God forbid killers like Bubba and Nemesis get synergy. You know, God forbid. Spies, baby. I'm gonna break that breakable door. I want to get the points up. I want to P100 this man. Well, the only real slasher franchises that I actually like in Dead by Daylight, that I kind of knew, that I knew before, and that I actually, you know, liked and stuff. Get off my totem. Do you not see the absolute value this add-on brings? Holy! Oh, DS. Still has DS, that's wild. So I was just in the stage of the game where it doesn't really matter. How is that not on the wall? yeah, like I was saying, the only like sort of slasher sort of like, I guess classic horror sort of slasher franchise that I actually care about. They finally got the hex. Oh my god. Chance for dying survivors too. She can be morried. Yes. Oh yeah, Jason also has like 2 mini morries as well he can do. That's the first one, and he has another one he can do when he's like in the wall. Which I think is really cool. He has unique morries, which I think that's really, I really like that. Right. I don't want Jason to get nerfed, bro. I have a feeling he will, though, because if it's like anything with this game, I can abandon because they haven't done the gen in 10 minutes. Wow. Probably gets out though. Or not. Huge spies value. Let's see if I can get that wall Mori. I need to line it up well, and it needs to be on a wall. Nah. I get the basic Mori. Thing is, like, you have to kill like this. You can't do anything else. Boom. There you go. I actually think I got some decent value out of Hex Scared to Death. But it's so poor. Like, the hinder needs to last longer. The hinder just needs to last longer, and it either needs to not be a hex, or it doesn't need the stupid activation condition of hooking 3 different survivors. Like, all it needs is for the hinder to last longer, and those 2 effects, one of them to be removed. Preferably removing the hex hex aspect of the perk would make it better. It needs something to it. It needs something. It needs something else. But yeah, as you can tell, huge value from the 2 nails add-on, by the way. Huge value. Do you see why I now consider this one of Jason's best add-ons? 2 nails. It's such a good add-on, and Coroner's Coffee is as well. Like, do you see why I think it's Jason's, like, one of his best add-ons? Do you see why the value I got from 2 nails this match was insane? Like, the value I got from 2 nails was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Like, just the value I got from 2 nails. Mwah. Brilliant. I think it is his best add-on, especially on maps like Gideon. Holy, that, like, I got so much value out of 2 nails there. Do you see why I consider it to be his best add-on? And spies like this and this, I think, are great. I might run Hex Scared to Death a little more, but I got some decent value out of that. But just, the hinder needs to be longer. It needs to be longer, and either remove just one of the conditions to it. Either remove the hex or remove the hook 3 different survivors. Just remove one of those, and then increase how long the hinder lasts for. Maybe to like 5-6 seconds or something like that. And then it would actually be a decent perk to run. In a perfect world, it would also count on any break, so that Nemesis, Bobber, Hillbilly could run it. But I got okay value from it being basic break. But in a perfect world, you would just remove the basic break part. Same with Rampage, you would remove the basic break part of Rampage and increase the haste that you get from that perk. But yeah, now guys, I'm going to go and record the remaining 2 gameplay that I want to showcase today of Jason without microphone, because it takes so long to get into matches that it would be better if I just did it without microphone for the remainder 2 runs I want to do. Like I said, I won't be here to record the new Survivor or the new anniversary event. I won't be here to do that, so that they won't get a video, but I will be doing Chorus of Sin, Terrifier when that releases. I will be doing the new mall map. I will definitely be doing that Zombies game mode that's meant to come out in the future. I'll do Casting of Frank Stone, the April Survivor. I'll do them. I'll do those as videos for Dead by Daylight, and that's what you can expect further down the line for different Dead by Daylight videos. And at some point on this channel, because Casting of Frank Stone is becoming its own chapter in March, I will be at some point around October, November time, probably in October, I will record a series of me playing through the entirety of Casting Frank Stone. I've heard bad stuff about it, but let's see. Let's see if, you know, it's actually as bad as people say. I'm expecting it to be as bad as people are saying it is, but, you know, I'll see for myself. I'll see if I like it or not. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video here. After I'm done with this, the other 2 clips of me playing as Jason will be afterwards. I may try a different build out just so it isn't the same build over and over and over again for the other matches. I'll see. But yeah, other than that, guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video of me playing the new Jason chapter. Jason's finally in the game. And yeah, I will see you all next time for the Chorus of Sin chapter. And the next video after this should be, depending on how I've done it, either Dandy's or Nuzlocke, which that was either uploaded before this video or after this video. And then the next video after that should be on Azure in Forsaken. That should be what the next video is after this. I don't really know what other videos I've got planned. I plan on recording some videos and then hopefully getting them finished and edited before I go on holiday, so then they can be uploaded while I'm on holiday. So yeah, so they can be uploaded when I'm on holiday and stuff like that. That weird effect just happened again. But yeah, other than that, guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video, me playing as Jason, and yeah, I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Peace.